Hi. Okay, here I am again. I am talking now today about the fourth principle towards healthy, permanent weight loss. But not just about weight loss. It's the principle that's going to move you towards this, what I've been talking about the last several weeks, freedom in your body, or body freedom. Where you are freed up from not feeling good in your body. You feel good, you feel liberated, you can move in your body, you can wear things, whatever you feel like wearing, you can put it on, you're happy with it. You're freed up from thinking about your weight and thinking about food and everything around that. It's just second nature. You just know how you need to eat, you know you can do it most of the time, and if you choose to indulge, that's okay too. You're good with that. But you can keep it in check, and you're freed up mentally. Like, no longer do you have your this other part of your brain, it feels like, that takes over and drives your eating sometimes and pushes you to maybe make choices that consciously you don't want to, but you find yourself doing it. That's body freedom, right? Giving you that. So ultimately, your whole journey, the weight loss journey that you've been struggling with over the several years, is behind you, and now you can basically dedicate more time and energy and everything to other areas in your life that are a little more fulfilling and interesting. So the first, as I said, the first principle was having a plan, a game plan that's right for you. It's giving you clarity, it's giving you structure. The second principle, which is hugely important, is you need to have your why, your reason for wanting to achieve body freedom is value driven. It's important to you. It's not just an excited, manic kind of like, oh, I'm so excited, I can't wait to lose some weight. It's driven. It comes from a deeper place. It's very important to you. As well, the third principle is on this process, developing the routine so they become habits. And this applies to both when you're losing weight, but also in maintaining. You got to have your routines. A lot of people just, all of it goes out the window. They're making their lunches, let's say if they're going to work, and they've got routines around, maybe then they're losing. And then when they get to maintenance, suddenly they stop all this stuff. They stop drinking their water. They stop weighing themselves. They stop all the little anchors that were keeping them focused. They just stop doing. So, developing these routines so that truly will, then it becomes a habit. With a habit, then it's second nature. You don't have to think about it all the time. So those are the first three. The fourth one, and it's actually very timely that we're talking about this, given we're a few days from the holidays. I don't know if you happen to celebrate Christmas, or even if you don't celebrate Christmas, but maybe potentially getting together with family. Don't know how much of that's going to be happening right now with COVID, but needless to say, this is a time of year when maybe there could be more temptations around food-wise, things like that. So this fourth principle, I call it just simply course correction, because as people lose weight, and I see this a lot with people I work, as they lose weight, sometimes they have setbacks, they go off track a bit. So one of the things I like to do is teach them, okay, how do you make a course correction? What do you need to do? And this applies particularly, and even more importantly, when people are maintaining weight. What I find a lot of times is people can have their strategies for losing, but then when they're maintaining, let's say they have, again, it's a holiday season, it's special events, for whatever reason, maybe they've gone up a bit in weight and their eating habits have kind of unraveled a little. Do they know how to make a course correction? And this course correction means for your body. Do you know what you need to do? Do you have a plan? Do you have some structure? Do you know exactly what you need to do so that you can then, okay, you know what? I've been carrying this extra 3 or 4 pounds. I need to get this off. Going back into a bit of a losing weight mentality, you have your plan, you have your strategies, you know exactly what you need to do in order to shed that weight within a couple of weeks. And there's clarity around that. That's a course correction for the body. Do you know mentally a course correction? Again, sometimes some of these more deep-seated, I'll call them kind of sabotaging behaviors, the triggers can be very powerful. Maybe you've had a handle on it and feeling like you're in control, but life can throw us some curveballs. A lot of people have gone through this with, quite frankly, with COVID, where they were totally fine. And then just with everything changing so dramatically and being at home and the stress eating and being lonely and whatever's going on, some of those old deep-seated kind of cravings crept back into their lives, right? So how do you, mindset-wise, do you have a way to make a correction? How do you kind of get back on track mentally and reset so that you know how to make that mindset correction, so that between the mindset and the body set reset, very quickly you can get back on track. And if it's 3-4 pounds, you can knock that off before it becomes 5, 7, 10, 20, and on that road again. So that, I think, if you look at, when, as I'm talking about these principles, and as you look at what have you had in place and maybe what's missing currently or in the past, if you've experienced, cyclical weight gain, was it a lack of plan? Was it your motivation wasn't very deep and strong? Was it you didn't really get into creating a routine that then evolved into habits, particularly over into maintaining weight? Or was it, and this one I hear a lot, the course correction, people don't know what to do. Often, they see themselves putting on some weight, maybe after they've lost it, and then they think, I'll just cut back. I'll just exercise more. Again, is that a plan? No, it's way too loosey-goosey. You need to have a game plan for that. What are the strategies? And having very clear strategies. So you just mentally switch gears. Yep, know what I need to do. Got the plan, got the structure, just put it into action. You can follow through, and it's a non-event. And the amazing thing with this is then you don't need to be as fearful about old habits coming back or about putting on a little bit of weight, because again, you've made the mindset shift. So you know what you need to do. You've got the strategies, so you don't need to worry about it. If it happens, you're like, I got this. I know what I need to do. And that is sort of the spirit of body freedom, is whether it's to maintain, you've got it. If you've put on a bit of weight because you've enjoyed yourself too much, knowingly, not just because you're out of control, but because you chose to, you know what you need to do to kind of rope it back in. And therefore it lessens the whole anxiety and worry and stress around micromanaging our food and our weight, for the fear of, oh, but if I put it on, will I get it off? Or is history going to repeat itself? So that's sort of this body freedom, is to get to that point where it's a non-issue and you've got ways to do your course correction. So obviously this is very timely because we're coming into a few days from Christmas and the holiday season for many people. And so, keep this in mind. Just say, okay, what could you do that would give you very clear strategies if you do choose to overindulge? How are you going to bring it back in? With my weight loss program, a lot of what I do is based on intermittent fasting, and I do find, for that reason, because there's a structure to it, people that have trained their body to be fat adaptive through intermittent fasting, which is what I teach and have my clients do as they're on their weight loss journey, is an amazing tool, and I use it to this day. If I need to do some corrections, if I'm like, okay, you know what, Christmas is coming, I'm going to have my sticky buns in the morning, because that's what we do every year, and I'm going to have the big dinner, and there's going to be chocolates in my stocking, and don't worry about it. I'm going to enjoy it for what it is. And then, a few days after, I know exactly what I need to do to get rid of those few pounds if I did put weight on. And that's very liberating, right? It's like, wow, you can enjoy it. You don't have to worry about it. But at the same time, I have a plan. I know what I'm going to do. I know I can't get away with doing this all the time. And I know if I don't make a correction, okay, well, that's 3 pounds. That's going to stick on. And then something else, another 2, and it's going to be this slow, slippery slope, to the weight going up. So having these strategies, and in your part of the plan is knowing you're going to do this, but you also know how you're going to do your correction. That's a plan. So if you are celebrating Christmas, Merry Christmas. If you're not, but you're having on holidays, then happy holidays to you, whatever you are doing over this time period, if you have time off. And think of ways you can do your course correction, develop a plan so you know what to do. And if you do choose to indulge in some of the temptations of the season, and just see, what can you do? Can you bring it back in check just by thinking about having a plan and bringing it in check, rather than crossing your fingers and hoping you don't put weight on. Okay, so happy holidays, and I will be back again next week. Take care. Bye-bye.